wanted to say a little bit about how we try to bring together traditional NHS and indeed care services and what you can offer. Big chunks of the traditional NHS aren't always good at engaging and seeing the benefits of what others can offer. It's often a bit of a straitjacket with an overly medicalised approach to people's needs. And we've got to try and break that culture, change that culture. There are some great advocates for a more enlightened approach within the NHS, and I think it's really important we work with those people. And it may be an individual GP surgeries. I noted in the note that I received that you're adopting a sort of infiltration approach where you get onto patient participation groups in GP surgeries and slowly work your way, the enemy within, which sounds to me like a very clever, if a little underhand strategy. So I thoroughly endorse that as well. But I think identify those people who have an enlightened approach and be prepared to work with them. You will probably all be aware now of this idea of social prescribing. Is that sort of a clear and obvious description to you? It's in its very, very early days. I'm a strong advocate of social prescribing, but I was just saying outside, too often the NHS is willing to pay millions and millions of pounds to pharmaceutical companies, including, incidentally, to fund the prescribing of lethal opioids. We have a growing scandal in this country, following on from what's happened in the United States, of vast numbers, millions of opioid prescriptions being issued, often entirely inappropriately, to people who then become addicted and then, in too many tragic cases, overdose and lose their lives. So the NHS is willing to spend vast amounts of money, often inappropriately, through pharmaceuticals, and yet when they socially prescribe, too often they're not willing to pay a very small amount of money to a third sector organisation or to provide complementary therapies, which could make a massive impact on people's lives. And we've got to change that culture, often with a little bit of pump priming money to voluntary sector organisations and to others. You can achieve an enormous amount and often impact people's lives positively rather than making people dependent on things like opioids. So I thoroughly endorse social prescribing, but the mindset of the NHS has got to change, that they've got to be prepared to put money behind it to make it really happen.